Hello everybody and welcome to GLHF episode number 31, where today we are taking a look at S.P.A.Z, also known as Space Pirates and Zombies. And you may ask, well, why are you looking at this game? It came out quite a while ago. It's a fairly older game. It came out, I think, over a year ago. And the answer is pretty simple. It's that it is now in the new Humble Indie bundle that's out. That's at humblebundle.com, I think is the correct address to get there. And the other games in there are like Torchlight, and I think one's called Shatter. Basically, this is a really good bundle. So I wanted to show you one of the games in it to possibly have you go and support the developers and the charities with the bundle. It's a pay-as-you-want bundle if you know nothing about it, so you could pay anything you want, but it would be pretty douchebaggery to pay a cent, so I would suggest paying over the minimum, which I think is like $5 right now, and then you also get an extra game if you pay that. So if you pay under that, you don't get the extra game, but if you do, then I think you get Torchlight for free as well, which is pretty dang good of a deal if you ask me. So let's get started on S.P.A.Z and what this game actually is. So it's a top-down space game, and I already have a game loaded in the background here, and we'll hop into that. But it's a top-down space game that involves quite a few strategic elements, and it's almost kind of like it's roguelike in nature. It's got a randomly generated world each time you generate a world. So if I started a new game, it would have a differently generated world and events and stuff. But the thing that really gets it is that as you get further and further in the game, it gets obviously much harder, and you get better ships, and you get like things to follow you around, and then you finally come across the zombies, and those are just nasty. It's kind of like space zombies, I guess. It's kind of like the Zerg, actually. There we go. It's a good analogy there. So let's get into the game. So as you see here, it's top down. I got my ship here. You see my little engines firing up as I try to fly in a circle. This thing is one of the most maneuverless ships, if that makes sense. But I've got these crazy awesome like mounted cannons at the front, as you can see there. So these are like, it's really good to get up on a ship with this one and just like shotgun them. But the problem is I'm not maneuverable, so it's really hard for me to get into position. So you also have a couple other ships that you can get with your little fleet, right? So this one's one of the ones I have following me around. I can control it. And then I got this one following me around. Right, so let's actually go to... Ooh, there's a bit of the resource in the game. Let's go to the menu here. So I can pull out and see kind of the system I'm in. Right now I'm in a neutral system, which just has my like mothership, basically. Now, here I can do quite a few things. I can go to the research, where you can see what I can research. So this is like a more interactive version of the game FTL, which I live streamed over the weekend, and you guys have probably already seen that VOD up on the channel. So you could pretty much spec out any part of your ship. I have quite a bit into reactor and cannons and stuff, because those are the stuff I use. But you can really mess around with your ship and get it the way you want it. And apparently I'm level 74, so that gives you an idea of how far progressed I am in the game at the moment. So we can also go to the system map, see the system I'm in, and I can travel between all the planets here. Or I can go to the star map and see the entire galaxy I've generated here, which is actually pretty intense is a good way to put it, I'd say. I mean, you could, yeah, there's a lot of stuff here, and there's a lot of places I haven't visited yet, and I haven't even gotten into the center of the map because it is really stinking hard and I'm out of res, which is the main resource. There's also other things like pretty much just quest log, tactics, so I can give tactics to the current ships I have. I can also add and change additional ships. I'll kind of show you what this is like. If we go to change hull, you have tiny hulls, you have small, so it progressively gets bigger, and you have medium. The mediums are pretty fun. You have the large, and then you have the huge. There's another tier after this of what I hear. I haven't gotten that far yet, and it's like really massive uber ships of doom, and I just haven't got there. This is also the Space Pirates and Zombies and Bounty Hunters part, so this is the updated version of the game. So there's also bounty hunter events that happen. Now let's go somewhere kind of nice. Let's see. I'm level 74, right? So I'm at a level 56 place. Let's go to, if we can. I'm thinking, maybe... Oh, actually, I'm here. I'm in a 35 spot. Okay, well, then this is perfect, actually. Let's go to the system map. These guys apparently hate me. What kind of event is this? Mining expedition, or... what about... Apparently I get bounty for doing that, so we'll go check out this mission. These are much lower ships that I'm coming up against, so I should be able to destroy them. I also have a huge bounty on my head in this system, so they really want to try to destroy me. You can zoom in your view as well. So let's go try to take out the ship. Once again, not maneuverable enough, but once I get into position, I could really unload on these enemy ships. And that guy just flew right in front of me as I try to turn around. And as far as the UI goes, if you look at the top left, I've got a like a shield around it, and then the big bits that kind of divided up into quarters, these kind of like platings around my ship. That's how much hull integrity or armor I have on those sides of my ship, so it can get fairly damaged. You also pick up res, which is your main resource for the game. You also pick up goons as well. Goons come from other different ships, and you can, I think you can even buy them. And what that allows you to do is just... Oop, I apparently wasn't supposed to destroy that. That's fine. What it allows you to do is to defend your ship if you get zombies on it better. And then if you are getting infected, you can even go and vent all the crew members to the very last one, just in case, right? So your captain will be the last one left, and the rest will be assumed zombified, and you could just ditch them. So I think that's another little cool feature. But yeah, the whole goal of the game is you start off in a fairly low-level system. I'm not even going to be able to turn around to that guy. Just wait for him to come to me. You start off in a fairly low-level system, and you kind of work your way up. And basically, you're just trying to get to the center of the galaxy. And doing that gets you more and more stuff, puts you against harder and harder enemies, but you slowly progress. And you're even able to find like different factions. There's the UTA and the civilians. UTA is kind of like a, what's a good way to put it? Kind of like a poop. I don't know. I want to say like space police, but they're kind of not, because a lot of them are really evil. I'm just kind of taking out this little space station. So there's them, and then there's civilians, and then there's the bounty hunters, and just the zombies. So you can work your reputation up with those in different systems, and then it'll allow you to buy different items. So there's a lot that you can do within the galaxy alone, and you can spawn different size galaxies too. So if you're like, I don't want to go exploring a ton of things, then you can make a smaller level or a smaller size galaxy, and then go with that, which I think it's a pretty cool idea and concept. You could kind of change the game size based on how much you actually want to go exploring. Me, I made a pretty large one because it's like, I want to explore a lot and get a lot of stuff. And that is what I've done. So let me actually check here. Let me go to my hangars. Is it possible for me to get a different ship to show you guys? I might be able to here. I might be able to get this one. Yes, this one doesn't cost very much to get going. So, as you see here, you have a lot of stuff to mess with, right? You've got like armor that you can upgrade. You have shields and different kinds of shields as well, which is sweet. Reactors and engines, and these are all tiered out, so you get different stuff based on how much research you've put into these kind of things. So yeah, I've got this this really good engine here, but I don't have enough research in it to be able to use. So I hope that makes sense. It goes like green, yellow, red. I don't know what the next color after that is. Or green, blue, yellow, red, I think is the tier colors. So if you're thinking like MMO gear, you know, and you kill a boss and a piece of really good like epic loot drops and it's purple, something like that, that would be red. So let's see here. Let's see what we can load this guy out with. So I've got a scanner. Scanners are kind of useful, but let's see what we could put on here. As far as weapons go, at the very least, we could put cannons on. So energy burst cannons, those are pretty good, or particle cannons. I'm thinking, let's see here. Wow, those do a lot more damage, but they're really good versus shields and weak versus armor, whereas these are decent versus kind of everything. So You know what? Let's put these on the front. We'll do that. Can I even upgrade these turrets? Some turrets you can boost here. What's the turret mod do? Increase weapon size. Okay, so can I put something bigger on? Oh, we'll hope for the best on that, because I haven't really experimented with that a whole lot. So we also have tractor beams. Meh, you know, tractor beams are okay. Scanners. Point defense. Let's put 2 point defense on. Let's put the tractor beam. Yeah, sure, that works. And then what's this back one here? More scanners. Well, let's put more point defense, because that's always good. Back here, I don't really have a whole lot that I can put. This ship isn't very combat oriented, is it? Jeez. So here, what do we got? SRM launchers. So these are kind of missiles. Sure, we'll go with that. And you know what? We'll just max this sucker out back here. Yeah. Is there a way that I can upgrade those by any chance? Because I have these kind of reactor booster module things. Let's see about... Let's see here. What kind of weapons are those to begin with? They are... missiles, I think? Explosives? So... What? I probably should have figured out what kind of ship I wanted before I started just doing this, but huge cannon, well, I could do the cannon booster, and I'm pretty sure I might. Let's do a reactor booster, and we already have... Ooh, I don't need a scanner, so let's go with a... Not a shield. Let's go with a... Hell, let's... I'm thinking engine, maybe? No, let's go with a... No, let's go engine. I want a quick moving ship. Okay, so then we refit it. And it does this. I'll pop out of this. My ship will disappear for a second. I'll have the option to drive one of the other ones. And now I'm waiting for it to rebuild. I can even move these guys around. You can see these ships are way more maneuverable. And I can even shoot down like their missiles with the gun I have on this one. Ooh, that's a nasty bomb he put there. Let's get out of there. And let's try to pull back towards the beacon where you warp in at, because that's where my big ship will come. Oh wow, this ship's out of power. Beacon is down this direction. You can see it by the little B icon. There we go, got my ship. Let's turn this sucker around and see what kind of damage I can do. I also have the missiles that I can lock on, so we'll see how those work as soon as I head off over this direction. I think these weapons also can kind of turn the little like blasters that I got, but we'll launch a ton of those little missiles out. You see them flying all over the place. Ooh, let's lock onto him. Oi, slowest turning ship ever. And it looks like my little ship is not doing too well there. Okay, let's see if I can fire more missiles at this guy and take him out. Basically, overall, this is kind of what the game boils down to. You just, in a ship, destroying things. You have more cargo-related ships, so ships that have huge cargo holds, or really fast speed, or even cloaking devices, and then you have stuff like this, where it's kind of slow-moving, but I can put a lot of like beams and whatnot on it. And then the other thing that you can kind of do with different types of ships is make like a weapons battery, so you can make a really powerful ship with damage and stuff. But where the drawback is you're not going to have a huge cargo hold, which means it's going to be really hard for you to get enough resources without having to go all the way back to the beacon over and over again. So it just saves you a lot of time, and you can kill things way quicker. But you can also set up your other ships to do the same thing. So, I mean, I've got one of my ships right there, which is really maneuverable, and he does a lot of close-up damage, but he also has a cloak, which allows him to kind of get in. And then the other one, I think number 2, has a huge cargo hold, so he's able to carry a ton of stuff for me. So there's a lot of customization. But as far as what the game is about, this is pretty much it. Now, there's one thing I want to do. Let's mass retreat. Let's get out of here. And let's go show you the zombies, because it's a pretty interesting mechanic. Now let's, if it loads, there we go. Go to star map. And where would zombies be? Well, Zombies are kind of everywhere. Let's go get my butt kicked. How about that? I think that works for you guys. Let's try. You can always tell where they're at because of the like infection that you see around these little icons. So that one has one. This one definitely has one, so we're gonna go over here. This one also has bounty hunters in it, so it may not be a good combination. Then again, the zombies could help me take out the bounty hunters, so maybe it is a good combination. We will see, but then I have to take out the zombies, of course. It's here. What's over here? I don't think there's any zombies there. Don't think there's any there. What about... Yes, okay. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, game, for giving me a random event that actually works for what I'm trying to talk about. So, let's try to find one of these zombie ships. And I'm just going to kind of go to the closest one, which is off over there. That is not a zombie ship. Although that is a different type of ship that I do need. So in order to get all these weird like ship types, like if I wanted to unlock this one that I'm firing at right now, you have to destroy enough of them, and you pick up like the schematics. Once you have enough schematics, you're able to make the ship indefinitely, which is pretty sweet. I think that's a cool way of unlocking things, because it forces you to go and explore the universe a little bit, and really kind of to look... Ooh, there's a zombie ship. To look for certain events happening that may spawn ships. Now this zombie ship in front of me, you can tell it's infected because it's purple. Obviously all things purple and pink are infected. So, ooh, oh crap, he just floated over me. Now I'm going to try to zoom in here. You can kind of see crap floating off of it. And what that is infection, like that right there. That just went for my little ship. I'm trying to take it out. I'm even aiming directly at it. Ooh, without it hitting me. That little ship can run up on you and kind of unload its zombie crew, and then those will board your ship and try to take you out. And that's not good. And the way that you can kind of prevent that from happening is by having really good shields. And also, you can jump on one of your other ships that you have with you. Like, I can get to my second ship here, and he can shoot at my own ship and shoot the zombies off of the shields. So that's another way to take the zombies out. But if you're infected, it'll show your ship as an infected ship, and it'll warn like your entire crew, and the zombies will just eventually take it over. And that's, as you can imagine, that would be very bad, because then they have a ship. So you could self-destruct, so that's one way you can get rid of them. But then that costs you the resources it costs to make the ship, because you have to make another one. Or you could just vent, as I said earlier, you could just vent all the crew. So it is kind of an interesting way. As I was saying, this is one of the games in the Humble Indie Bundle this time around. The game, or the Humble Indie Bundle alone, is worth it for Torchlight if you spend the $5 or whatever it is at the moment. But I mean, if you get this kind of game as well, and these games are really sweet. I mean, I've spent so much time just floating around trying to destroy ships like this. Then again, space games are also kind of my favorite. I'm getting my butt whooped here. But on that note, I don't think there's really anything else to say about the game other than it's awesome. And you should probably get the Humble Indie Bundle. Not only does the money go to good causes, but you can even break it up to giving some to the developers and some to charitable donation, or all to charity and none to the developers, or all to the developers and none to charity, stuff like that. So you can find that at, I think, humblebundle.com. I think that's the correct link for that. Ooh, that evil Doom ship. I'm going to try to get away from him. And on that note, as I go trying to avoid all contact with the zombies and mass retreat, we'll see you guys next time.